Ronan thought that today's podcast should be only 60 seconds long because we watched Gone in 60 seconds. So I'm going to make it painfully slow. So, Ronan,
Jeez.
how did you feel about Gone in 60 seconds?
I felt pretty good.
No, I did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't going to do that for the whole time. That was going to be me.
Good.
We're not even at 60 seconds yet. I did consider doing it for 60 seconds just to really hurt you, but that would be mean. That'd be super rude. So how much older than you am I?
20 years?
Yeah, ish.
Or
You were born
roundabout?
You were born
03.
03,
Yep.
and I was born in 82. So 21 years.
Yes.
This movie came out
21 years.
21 years ago. So I wanted to be said here really quick that I saw this movie in theaters when I was when I was your age. This movie was the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. Both of those phrases are way older than I am, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I never knew cats had pajamas.
They don't. That's the whole point of the joke. They were the cat's meow. Again, way older, 100 years older than I am. But yeah, so this movie is the age difference. Like I was exactly your age. I think I went with my girlfriend and a bunch of friends. Like we went and saw this movie and it was so cool. Angelina Jolie, this wasn't the very beginning of her career. Hackers would have been kind of the real, yes, I know that she was in several movies before Hackers, but Hackers was her real breakthrough role. And that was 5 or 6 years before this. But this was still the very rising of Angelina Jolie. This was the apex, kind of the heyday of Nicolas Cage. What's amazing to me about this movie, and we'll get into it obviously, is this. I mean, we have Delroy, we have Chi McBride, we have Delroy Lindo, we have Timothy Oliphant, we have Will Patton, we have Giovanni Ribisi. Some of them, like Nicolas Cage, were at the peak. Some of them were absolutely on their rise. Some of them were Will Patton, Remember the Titans, and other things were kind of at their heyday. It's such a stacked movie, full Robert Duvall, who. This movie has such star power, and it's so much fun to watch. I mean, please don't misunderstand me. It is not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
It's just like one of those action movies that are like in a whole different genre of their own.
Right. And again, like there are the action movies out there of the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme. You probably don't know who any of those people are.
I do.
This wasn't a muscle army movie. This was finesse. This was the fight scene, as we were just talking before we went on. The fight scene. There's 3 fight scenes, but the boss fight at the end was delightfully one-sided. Yes. It wasn't like all of a sudden we find out that he was like a kickboxer. No, like he gets his ass kicked, and then I mean he runs away and there's like a gunfight, but it's not like an Arnold Schwarzenegger gunfight with like bombs and explosions. It's a very, very realistic, like 1-shot hide, 2-shot hide. Yeah. Like people aren't holding gunshots as they're running. Like, no, it was the climax of this film, with the exception of the remarkably stupid car jump. This movie has a lot of believability. I know what I just said. Believability to it.
I would say so, except for those like key points.
Yeah, I mean, again, Mythbusters actually did an episode
on the car jump. Just how utterly bullshit and ridiculous that car jump is. It's not okay. But truly, I am not a car guy. Nicolas Cage is. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. I'm not a car guy. I like this movie. It makes me like cars, and the way they talk about cars, it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. And you are a Mustang dude. Yep. As you may or may not be able to see with my phone case here, but.
And this movie, Eleanor, like this movie, like put the 67 Shelby GT500 on the map. Again, I understand that came out in 67, so it was on the. Yeah. But like, I had never heard of the car before, and everyone my age knows what the Shelby GT500 is. Yep. Because of this movie. I mean, other than actual car lovers. Yeah. I really enjoy. This is one of the Nicolas Cage films, much like Con Air, that I just like because it's just fun.
It is.
Con Air is way worse, but this one's just fun.
So I have a question.
Hit me.
I was gonna have some like bonus or like party things, however you want to say it.
Okay.
In today's show, should I say now or wait for later?
It's your show. You tell me.
Okay. I guess I will do it now.
Okay.
So when this, or not when this film, but I guess we can cover that now.
Okay.
Cover as in this is a cover. This is a remake.
Oh, yes.
Of a different show.
Also called Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah.
Yes. And it was actually one of the same writers did both of them.
Really?
Yes. I guess before we show more, that's director Dominic Sena. Sena or Sena?
I would have said Sena, but I don't know.
Okay. Whiteout, California Swordfish. And then the writer, H.B. Halicki.
Deadline Auto Theft. Now, here's my question. First off, he did 2 auto theft movies. I wonder, and I don't expect you to know off the top of your head, okay. I wonder if he did actually write this, or if because he had some residual rights to the first one, he got a writer's credit on this because of the borrowed plot line. Or, I mean, it kind of, for example, the creator of the original Battlestar Galactica was credited as a producer and creator on the new show. Yeah. He had literally nothing. He had nothing to do with it, but because of he owned the rights, that was part of his deal. Is like, hey,
I see.
We will give you a producer credit because we're borrowing so much. So I'm now really fascinated to know if Mr. Halicki actually worked on both films, or
if he had any part,
if it was just a crediting issue, because credits are political. I mean, starring, no, directing, no, but like producing and like story by, written by, there's a lot of politics in that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I do know there's like a different plot and different characters from both of them. So
yeah. So that's interesting. I'm hold on.
But it could also be like a copyright issue. Like, is there enough to separate the two to make them
We are
different?
Going to Google this. H.B. Halicki. Henry Bright Toby Halicki was an American director, writer, stunt driver, actor, and filmmaker. Halicki directed the 1974 film Gone in 60 Seconds, as well as producing and starring in several other action films. He was killed in an accident while filming Gone in 60 Seconds 2 in 1989. So he had nothing to do with this.
No, he did not.
No, I mean, he wrote the original, and he was given a writing credit in this one. So the question becomes...
I didn't even know there was a second one.
It was never finished because he died. I don't know. I'm guessing. The original Gone in 60 Seconds managed to wreck 93 cars in a 97-minute film.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Oh, that you?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I was going to ask what you thought the number 1 spot was going to be
for the most cars destroyed in a film.
Yep. If you can guess the movie and the amount of cars.
Oh, no chance.
Yeah, I know that. But
so the screenplay for this one, this is fun. So the screenplay, so he was given writing credit because he wrote the original.
Yes.
This movie was written by this screenplay was written by a man named Scott Rosenberg that we know. He wrote Jumanji: The Next Level. He wrote this. He also wrote, wait for it, Con Air.
Yep. Because he's the one that we had on last week.
Yeah.
And what brought us to this movie.
Yeah, rock on, rock on. Most recently, he's the executive producer on a TV show called From. He did The Citadel, and he did the television show High Fidelity, which we just watched. We watched the movie, but I'm trying to see the most recent thing that like I have watched of his.
I see.
You know, his heyday of things that I saw really were this era. I saw a great many of his hold on. I saw a lot of his 90s stuff.
I see.
But the stuff he's done more recently, it's big stuff. It's not in my genre, so I haven't seen most of it.
It's understandable. And if you were wondering, you or any of the people watching,
what's the record?
Transformers 3.
Hold on. Okay. So Michael Bay, my old boss. It's going to be over 300 cars.
Yep. Well over 300.
How many?
532. I think it was 530 something.
That's embarrassing.
Michael, 532.
Michael, Mr. Bay. That's embarrassing. I will say a little off topic, but it is about Transformers and Michael Bay.
Okay.
There used to be a show on cable called Sunday Morning Shootout with Sunday Morning Shootout with Peter Bart. Peter Bart was the head of Paramount, and then he went on to be the editor-in-chief of Variety magazine, which is a very famous film magazine. And then he did a kind of a Siskel and Ebert show, but it was called Sunday Morning Shootout, where he just did interviews with people. And Transformers 1 and Spider-Man 2 or 3 came out at the same time.
Yeah.
And Transformers 1, these numbers are off the top of my head, so I'm sure they're wrong, but they're ballpark. Transformers 1 had a budget of like $170 million, and Spider-Man 2 or 3, whichever the one right then was double. It was $300 million.
Okay.
And Peter Bart asked, he said, Michael, you just did this movie for $170 million, and Sam Raimi just did Spider-Man for $300. How were you able to do this so cheaply? And this is the only thing that Michael Bay has ever said that I respect. You heard me. It's the only thing. Okay. And he was like, with all due respect to my fellow filmmakers out there, I shot this at my schedule. I had everything that I wanted. I didn't penny pinch. I didn't skimp. I got all the special effects I wanted. I destroyed everything I wanted to destroy. I blew up everything I wanted to blow up. I had everything I wanted. And it was $170 million. And I was working with the number one actor at the time. Like Shia LaBeouf was not a small. He was like, I was working with top talent. I didn't penny pinch anything. I have no idea what they are spending that money on. And I was like, damn.
Fair enough, yeah.
Transformers is in no way a less sophisticated film than Spider-Man. Across the board, from explosions to action and he was just like, I spent 170. I don't know what they spent 300 on. I'm like, shit. Casting shade. But so Transformers 3.
Yes. Transformers 3.
500 some odd cars.
532.
In a 3-hour film. 2.5 hour. That's embarrassing. Anyway. So, okay.
And another thing that you may want to know.
Okay.
The first Gone in 60 Seconds.
Sure.
Holds the record, I do believe, still to this day, to the longest car chase scene in a film.
This one? The original?
Yes, the original.
Okay.
40 minutes.
You know what? I'm willing to bet you that that's not true. There's a movie from the mid-90s with Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Charlie Sheen. And it is called The Chase. And in the first few minutes of the movie, he robs a convenience store. And in the last few minutes of the movie, they arrest him. And the entirety of the movie is on a high-speed car chase on a freeway. The entire movie. I will say that a lot of it's them talking and driving. And stuff. It's not a car chase scene. So that's probably what they mean, an action scene. But that's I wonder what they're using as the parameters for that.
Not sure.
Because the Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson, the shit that I just know off the top of my head is sometimes a little disappointing to me.
Yes,
but it's not a bad movie. He was already wanted. He had escaped from prison, I believe.
I see.
And he robbed a liquor store or a convenience store with a Butterfinger, pretending it was a gun.
Okay,
that's how the movie starts. And then Christy Swanson eats the gun. Because it was a Butterfinger. Anyway, moving on. That. So Nicolas Cage, which we know from The Rock, National Treasure, Con Air, It Could Happen to You, as well as Leaving Las Vegas. His credits are amazing. Angelina Jolie, Sarah Sway Wayland, Maleficent, Wanted, Girl Interrupted. For the record, I know you only ever do 3.
Okay.
Still not the 3 I'd have chosen, but often I was like, why on earth? Like, that person has so many good credits and you chose solid choices. Solid choices. I would have probably, I'm not a Disney kid, so I'd have probably switched out Maleficent for like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Wanted's great. I loved it. It didn't do well, but I loved it. Girl Interrupted. Oh, so good.
I mean, to be fair, most of the times for these 3, there's like the 5 that IMDb.
Oh, I'm well aware of where you get them, but like IMDb kind of sucks. Have we frozen?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I wonder how long we've been frozen. Let me
We're black on YouTube.
Yeah, we're black here. Oh, no.
Did it cut out? Like the editing wise?
I thought if the camera died, but we're black. We are live. It just shows this is black.
Yeah. We're live. We're just black. Because I still see the little Archie can in the bottom.
Yeah. Hello out there in TV land. It's a beautiful place. Okay, so I am sorry for anyone who was trying to watch through that. If you can hear us and see us, our cameras froze. We don't know what happened. It seems to be back up.
Yep,
I see we have a viewer, so if you can hear us and see us, ding, would you please throw a comment just of, love Ronan's hair.
I like my hair.
I just said I love your hair. Man, can I not even
Kirk.
give you a compliment at this point?
Thank
Anyway,
you,
so yeah. There we have those. Now Giovanni Ribisi. No, 2 out of 3. I would not have had Sky Captain on there. I understand that he was in Sky Captain. Avatar, sure, I hate him in that, but I recognize why he's there. Boiler Room, solid choice. There's so many other things that he is so much better at than Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. And then James Duval. You have him.
Wait.
James Wait, you mean Robert Duvall?
No. There was both of them in there.
Who's James Duval?
It was Freeb.
Who's Freeb?
He was one of the people that was working with Memphis.
So in a movie that included Robert Duvall,
I knew this was going to happen.
Delroy Lindo, Chi McBride. I just a person that I have no, hold on, I'm looking this person up. Who is James Duval, actor from Donnie Darko? Are you kidding me, dude? He was he wasn't even one of the good thieves. I remember who he is in all of those movies all of a sudden. No, sir. No. Timothy Olyphant. Like, there were so many good actors in this, and you went with the third string person from every movie he's ever. I'm sure you're a great. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's not even like Robert Duvall's kid, which would almost make sense for the record.
Not?
No relation. At least not on his Wikipedia page, his Wikipedia page, his IMDb page, or anything else. He is unrelated. Wow. Now, Shelley Duvall, that's his daughter.
Okay.
Robert Duvall's daughter.
Yeah.
They're Academy-winning movie actors in this movie. Actually, Christopher Eccleston. Oh, no. Okay, so Giovanni Ribisi does not have an Oscar. The top two absolutely do. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over this one.
I'm sorry, Kirk.
I continue. Next slide.
Okay.
That's a good slide. So talk to me about the movie. What'd you think? I mean, you are a car guy-ish.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. If you could choose, and I mean, I know the answer to this, and this I'm of all the world of cars,
okay,
for there to be a unicorn car, the impossible to catch unicorn. Did they pick the right Mustang? Was the Mustang the right car to have picked in the first place? Should it have been the fastback? Should it have been the 1964 and a half original? Or was the Shelby GT500 the correct car?
I mean, I feel like for the time period, that
2000?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be a pretty good choice.
Okay. Solid.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Next slide. Or is this the last slide? There's no more slides? No, we have more slides.
It's not the last.
No, we have more.
But do we want to talk any more about it? Or
I don't know. So this was Chris Eccleston's like introduction to American cinema, and no one knew who he was. So there's this really interesting story. I can't remember if it's Nicolas Cage or Will Patton.
Mm-hmm.
Will Patton is the used to be on Nicolas Cage's crew, but now works for Calitri.
Okay.
Like that guy that kind of saved the day. I do not remember who the interview was with, but the story is what's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And no one knew who he was. I mean, he was a big star in England, but like he hadn't done Heroes yet, and he hadn't done this was his kind of envoy to American cinema.
Yeah.
And they wanted someone unassuming but scary. They wanted someone who was scary, but wasn't like hulking and massive.
Yeah.
And the shot was on this person's face, Will Patton or Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And so you couldn't even see Chris Eccleston's face. Like, he wasn't even on camera. So often when you're shooting films, people underplay the scenes to save it. They underplay it. They're still feeding lines, but they underplay the emotion when it's on the other person for fairly good reasons.
Yeah.
And they were doing this scene, and the director was afraid it wasn't scary enough. It was, it was either I think it was the scene with the coffin. So that would have made it Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And the director was like, the director kind of stopped it and was like, I don't know that this is scary enough. I don't know that it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicolas Cage stopped him and said, no, it's terrifying. Like, trust me, like that he's playing this perfectly, that his demeanor and mannerisms and the nerdiness of him. Like, he wasn't in the late 90s. And it kind of bummed me out because it was my idea and everyone else stole it. There was this shift. There was a very big, weird and odd shift in from the villains of the 80s and 90s were archetypally scary. Like, they were dirty men and they had thick accents, or they had dark eyes. They were archetypedly scary. And it was around this time that you started seeing more and more movies where the bad guy kind of wasn't. I mean, he was still evil, but like the movie Confidence that came out a few years later, the bad guy was Dustin Hoffman. And he had ADHD and was popping Ritalin the whole time, and he was super hyper, and he's like, no, he was goofy.
Yeah.
He was still evil. And you started seeing things like bad guys getting manicures, which before then, like, no, that's sissy. Like you started seeing like the bad guy was getting a pedicure or a manicure, or the bad guy had a foofy dog. Like this was kind of right at the beginning of that. And so they wanted Chris Eccleston because he wasn't that. He wasn't archetypally scary. He's a like skinny British dude.
Yeah.
But they wanted him to be a different kind of scary. And I think they did it really well. This is the only movie that I know where he played. I'm not saying it's the only one that there is, but it's the only movie that I know that he is a true villain.
I see.
And I think he crushed it. I think that he is a very good bad guy. What do you think of Chris Eccleston?
I think it was really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Cool. Let's how about you? Like, what was your, you have the Angelina Jolie, like, did you have a favorite character, a favorite part, point, or otherwise?
I mean, I feel like I know what you're gonna say, but I feel like most of the movie, like it was kind of like a Fast and Furious movie, kind of in a way.
This was the leading edge of that. These were a few years earlier, I believe. When the first Fast and the Furious,
well, I would assume so.
2001. This was the year before. I was about to say, I want to say they were very, very.
Oh, it's a lot closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
I see.
It's 1 year. There really was this kind of. There was this kind of
like urge to make car movies.
I was gonna say urge. This an uprising. We did The Transporter. When was The Transporter? 2002. So all of a sudden we had Gone in 60 Seconds, The Fast and the Furious, The Transporter.
Isn't like Need for Speed also? Or is that
I think that was earlier, actually.
Is it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's 2014. That's way older.
I was thinking the game. Then.
So I just typed in 2000 action movies.
Okay.
The Art of War, Charlie's Angels, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Delta Force, Get Carter, Gone in 60 Seconds, Guilty as Charged. This is 2000 through 2009. So let's see this real quick.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 2 that had the moronic motorcycle chase in it.
Yeah.
And I love motorcycles. That's what made it moronic. Reindeer Games. Fast and the Furious was the next year. Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider was the next year. She was at really the height. The Bourne Identity, which had a huge car chase in it. Derailed, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie about the train. Just saying. No, I mean, I really thought, and then The Italian Job in 2003.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there really was this kind of uprise in mainstream car action movies, and I love it. Like, and again, I'm not a car guy, but I was okay with it. Oh, and District B13, man. French cinema at its absolute best. Okay, so the budget was 90 million and it generated 237. No one lost their job over this.
Nope.
Favorite actress, Angelina Jolie for the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. BMI Film Music Awards for Trevor Rabin.
He must have been like the music person.
Must have been.
Then ratings.
It is remarkably uncommon that Metacritic is higher than Rotten Tomatoes. I don't agree with a single one of those. I'm surprised that, like, the IMDb and the Rotten Tomatoes, whatever, I usually disagree with those, but I really would give this movie a 75 to 85. Like, this movie is not good. It's not cinema.
Yeah.
But, like, it's fun. It's not failing. 65 is, like, like,
yeah.
No, this was not a D- movie. This was a C+ movie. I disagree. No, hard pass. But, I mean, it made $237 million, so. Okay.
Like.
Okay. Yeah, fun stuff.
Right? I still don't know how it's like a 23 and a 35.
That I find that ineffable. That's just not okay to me.
Especially for a classic.
Okay. It came out when I was in high school. It was not a classic.
You can order the classic.
No, I fear that's far.
So I feel like if you call it a classic, I can call it a classic.
That's well played, sir.
Thank you.
no, I love this movie. Again, not for like, just in the world of, sometimes you want a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And this movie's a piece of cake. It's not potatoes and gravy and steak.
Not the whole Thanksgiving dinner.
It's not Thanksgiving dinner, but it's definitely pie. Like, like, man, Boston cream pie and Gone in 60 Seconds. I'm with you. Like, I am here for it. But yeah. And I mean, will you watch this movie again?
Yeah.
Tell your friends. Yeah.
Hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Anything else you wanted? Any other cool factoids you wanted to throw in there?
And that's about all I had. Yeah.
No. So I will say this. You didn't know who Jimmy Hoffa was. Jimmy Hoffa was a very famous mafioso teamster that kind of killed by the mob back in the 70s, 80s. I don't know the exact time frame. He disappeared. Okay. And for the longest time, there was like what happened? And they were like, everyone knew, but he just disappeared. And a mafioso kind of came out semi-recently, like 40 years later, and said, I wasn't there and you can't pin me there, but confirmed that they'll never find his body. And it was because, much like they did in this movie, they put him in a car and crushed it.
Oh.
Like he said, he's like, they'll never find it. They're like, there's no body left. Like, it takes 2,000 pounds per square inch. Like, there's nobody left. It's gone. It's pulverized. It's crushed, and they'll never. They said, yeah, they came out and they put him in the back of a something car, and he never got out of it. Like, and I was like, oh wow, like the fact that you know that or just talking about it so freely is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, so
yeah, it was a bit heartbroken when they were starting to crush the Shelby.
Now that is a thing that we will end on. Just a second.
Okay.
"11 of the fictional Eleanor Mustangs were created for the movie. Although only 3 of these were working cars, and 2 were destroyed during filming. The one was Kate.
Wait, 2 of the 3 working ones were destroyed, or okay?
So here we go. This is from an article from the Christian Science Monitor. Eleanor Mustang sold for $1 million used in Gone in 60 Seconds film. A 1967 Ford Mustang used during filming of 2000's hit Gone in 60 Seconds has sold at auction for a staggering $1 million. This was no ordinary Mustang, however, as the car in question was none other than the famous Eleanor Mustang driven by actor Nicolas Cage in the movie's closing stages. 11 of the fictional Eleanor Mustangs were created for the movie, although only 3 of these were working cars, and 2 of them were destroyed during filming. This one was Cage's primary beauty car, used mostly for close-ups as well as promotional efforts. So they were kit cars. They were So I was wondering, did they really destroy? No, I see. I was wondering if they destroyed a 1967. Like, that's insane. But no, they were replicas. They made them out of. They were kit cars. No details about the auction's winner have been announced, though the price paid is not at all unexpected given the car's fame as well as its pedigree. Though not an original Shelby, the Eleanor Mustang was based on the 1967 Mustang Fastback and was built by Cinema Vehicle Services with the help of the legendary coach builder Chip Foose. Key features of the car are central mounted driving lights, pumped fender flares, and unique hood and trunk. Did you ever watch the Foose show, the Chip Foose show?
No.
I think you really like it. It's called Overhauling, and he's a car designer, and he takes old beat up cars and he chops them up and turns them into pretty cars. But so that's good to know that Eleanor is based on, but it's their fake.
Yeah,
and most of them were just bought. There was 11, and most of them were just bodies, and 3 of them ran. 2 of them were destroyed, and 1 sold for $1 million. And that article was from, as I said, the Christian Science Monitor, and it was published May 21st, 2013. I think that's a good. I do like Eleanor. She is a beautiful car, and I would like a fake one, frankly.
Yeah. But Kirk,
yeah,
what are we going to watch next week?
Okay, well, so I think it needs to be a James Duval movie. him having such an actorial pedigree and all, how do we ignore the great work of James Duval?
The one and only?
The one and only. No, you know what? I am going to say, no joking. Let's make it a Giovanni Ribisi film.
Okay.
Because where he gets to play a little bit of a more central role. So, well, Boiler Room was on there. Who was the guy wrote it or directed it? Go back a few slides.
Was in it.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought that was someone else. Okay. So Boiler Room. Let's see here. Well, let's see. He's great in Sneaky Pete, but we don't do shows. No. Absolutely not.
Oh, jeez.
No. I must have missed his heyday because I'm in the 90s now. Hold on.
Oh.
Let's watch the 1999 classic, The Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad?
For a couple of reasons.
Mod or mob?
Mod.
Mod?
M-O-D.
Okay.
Squad.
Okay.
So for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
Today's movie was a remake of a 1974 movie by the same name.
Oh, is this another remake?
The Mod Squad was a TV show or movie or both. First off, it's a neo-noir, and I love neo-noirs.
Okay.
It has Giovanni Ribisi, Claire Danes, and Omar Epps, all three at the absolute height of their career. It's 1999, so it's the same era. So we're staying, it's the year earlier.
Yep.
It's Giovanni Ribisi. It's his movie right before this. It's also a remake from a same basic era, 60s, 70s.
I see. Okay.
So there's a lot of reasons to go from Gone in 60 Seconds to The Mod Squad. Whereas we're going from an action movie about cars, which is your thing, to a crime thriller film noir, which is my thing. So I think The Mod Squad is actually a pretty good follow-up.
Okay, cool. I thought it was going to have some sort of motorcycles to tie you in.
No. No, I mean, for the record, I saw the Mod Squad when I was in high school. I have not seen it since. So this really, really will be
a journey back in time.
And I will be seeing it again for the first time.
Yep.
So, $50 million budget. It's not a good movie, but it's it was a fun throwaway action movie. And again, it's sticking with Giovanni Ribisi. It also leads us over to Claire Danes and opens up a few different ways that we can play that.
I see. Nice.
Unless there's something else you want to watch. Want to stick with car movies? I'm fine with that too. we could move ours. Okay, I'll give you the choice.
Okay.
Ooh. Your choice.
Okay.
3 choices.
Okay.
We can watch Mod Squad. And by the way, I'm not leaning this. I really don't care. I will watch. I will happily. We can watch the Mod Squad 99. We can watch the Italian Job.
Okay.
Not the Fast and the Furious. Screw that.
Yeah, fair enough. And the original
or the Transporter. Jason Statham's Transporter.
Okay.
Italian Job, not the original.
Okay.
The Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron.
03.
Or the Mod Squad. All 3 of them are action crime thriller dramas of the same basic era, 99 to 2004. All of them have all-star casts. The Italian Job has the most all-star cast. Jason Statham movies are Jason Statham movies. Yeah. And Mod Squad is the most different because it's very much a film noir. It's also the least critically acclaimed. It had a good cast. It was a flop. I liked it, but it was blah. Your choice.
I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards the Italian Job.
Done.
Okay.
It's kind of, because that opens up some doors for me.
And the reason why I say that is one of my favorite games, Forza Horizon 4. There's a part in that video game where it mentions the Italian Job.
That would be the reason. Have you seen it?
So I do not think so.
So the other reason that it's really cool is, so in my book, I talk about the Mini Cooper and the design of Frank Stevenson. The original, the Italian Job was a way to was much like we watched the movie Bullet, and which was about the Shelby, or was about not the Shelby, but about the Mustang. The Italian Job, the original, was to really highlight how awesome
the Mini Cooper
was.
I see.
The new Italian Job was a way to highlight the new Mini Cooper. It was 2003 and it had come out in 2000. So it really is, it's a remake in a bunch of different fun ways. It's right on theme with a lot of the movies we've watched. I think it'll be a fun one.
That explains why in Forza, for that like task or whatever you want to call it, mission, you have to drive a Lego Mini Cooper.
Makes sense. Okay, guys, we will see you next week where we are apparently watching The Italian Job, which is a great film. So good.
I don't know why you said apparently.
Because we are apparently watching it.
Oh, okay.
As always, I've been Kirk.
And I've been Rownan.
And this was Reels in the Round.
And we'll be gone in 60 seconds.